Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Joe, and today we're going to be making this beautiful wood cutting board. Now, I think every self-respecting woodworker on YouTube at this point has made a cutting board or multiple cutting boards, but I've never made one before, ever. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to put this thing together. I do have to say it was very simple, and I think it came out great. Okay, so to get started on our cutting board, the first thing we need to do is figure out what type of wood we're going to be using. Now, not all wood is created equal, and not all wood is good for cutting boards. So for cutting boards, you're really looking for two main qualities. One, you're looking for woods that are hard, because the cutting board is going to need to stand up to a bunch of abuse, and the harder the wood, the longer the cutting board will last before needing to refinish it. And then how hydroscopic the wood is. Now, hydroscopic is just a fancy word for how readily the wood is going to absorb moisture. And certain woods tend to absorb moisture much better than others. So, for example, red oak is really good at wicking up water. Whereas white oak is naturally much more water resistant, which is why you find white oak used a lot on flooring and not red oak nearly as much. So in our case here, I chose to use purple heart, black walnut, and white oak. So all three of these woods are extremely hydrophobic, so they do not like absorbing water, and all three of these woods are also extremely dense and have a rather high hardness on the Janka hardness scale. So with our wood picked out, the next thing we have to do is figure out the pattern. Now, I said at the beginning of this, I've never made a cutting board before, so I didn't want to try something incredibly difficult. There's a lot of very complex patterns available for cutting boards. Obviously, the more complex your pattern, the longer it is going to take you to make that cutting board, the more cutting that's going to be involved, the more gluing that's going to be involved, etc., etc. So in this case, I just wanted to go for something really simple. So I'm cutting each of my woods into varying size strips, and then I'll be gluing those strips together to make the cutting board. Very simple, but ultimately I think it looks very good in the end. So this is the fun part of this. You can really play around with this to get something that you like, looks good to you, or that you just think is going to be sellable. I personally like things symmetrical. So what I think we're going to do is I think we're going to go walnut oak, purple heart in the center, and then the same thing on the side. So I'm going to lay that out now. Now the good thing is for me, I have both a planer and I have a drum sander. The drum sander, if I want, I could do one pass, I could do 16 inches, two passes, I can do 32 inches wide. I think we're going to be right around 16 inches if we use all these pieces right here. Now I could always trim them down so they could fit through the planer if I was targeting a specific size, but I actually want the slightly wider cutting board. I'm making this so that it can insert into my sink in place of the one that came with the sink, and the one that came with the sink only does maybe a third of the way across the sink, and I want it to go a little bit farther there, take up a little bit more. All right, now that I have my pattern figured out, I'm just going through my boards here and lining everything up. Now, I did, when I selected the wood and cut everything out, I cut out all of the defects and the knots, so both sides of this cutting board are going to look really good with no defects at all. However, there's always one side that is a little bit nicer than the other, so I'm just taking a little bit of time to make sure that the nicest face of each one of these boards is facing up for the cutting board. The other thing that you'll probably see that I've done here is I did run each of these strips through the planer individually. The reason why I ended up doing that is because the cutting board is going to end up being too wide for the planer once it's fully glued together, and I'm going to be using the drum sander to smooth everything out, so I just wanted to get it close to start. Okay, this is what we're going with. It will pretty much be this width. We're just going to obviously sand and finish the edges, but the length is going to be taken down by about an inch. We're going to cut off this little defect here, and then obviously square everything up. Okay, so next we're just going to go ahead and glue this up, and then we'll let this set up and we'll come back to it tomorrow. To glue it up, the one thing that you do want to be aware of is this is going to be getting wet, so you do want to use a waterproof glue, and you do want to do something that is food safe. Now, the glue isn't going to be coming in direct contact with the food, but it is important that it is waterproof glue. Just a real quick tip too, this little roller that I have on the end of the glue bottle, this is actually from a glue kit from Rockler, and it comes with the whole bottle and everything, but the tip that comes in the kit screws on perfectly to these Type-On glue bottles, so you could just throw out the bottle, screw it right onto the bottle of glue that you're using, and you're good to go. Okay, let's send this through the drum sander, get it cleaned up. Okay, with the cutting board out of the clamps, the next step is to run it through the drum sander to get everything perfectly smooth on each side. Now you can see that I just did a little trick there, which is opening up the drum sander and just adjusting the height of the drum sander till it just catches. You want to do this because if you try to bite off more than the drum sander can chew, you are going to gouge out whatever you're working on. So I'm running it through the drum sander a few times on each side to get everything perfectly parallel and smooth. Now the drum sander does not replace finish sanding, but it is really, really good at getting the surfaces smooth and level very, very quickly. In my opinion, if you don't have a ton of material to remove, the drum sander is as good, if not better, than running it through the planer. Again, though, you still do need to go back and finish sand to have a really nice product in the end. All I'm doing now is I'm squaring up each end of the cutting board. Now, one side is just, you could see I was just doing a little trim just to make sure everything's nice and square. And then the other side I did have to cut about 1.5 inches off to get rid of that little bit of a defect at the end. The other reason I had to cut so much off here is lengthwise, I was targeting a very specific length so that this would suspend perfectly within my sink. All right, now we have 2 routing steps that we have to do. So the first one that we have to do is we have to route in finger grooves. Now, I'm going to be routing my grooves on the sides rather than the ends. And the reason for that is this is meant to insert into my sink. And if the finger grooves are on the ends, I will not be able to grab those. But if they are on the sides, I'll be able to use them. So here I'm just measuring out for those grooves. Now, I don't know the name of the router bit that was used for this, but I mean, you could see it right here. It's essentially a sphere with a bearing on the top, and it does a really nice job creating a groove that makes picking up the cutting board really, really easy. Okay, I apologize. I messed up on that one. I forgot to turn the camera on right before I routed that, but I just went ahead and I put the juice groove. I just went ahead and I put the juice groove all the way around the cutting board. You can see that here. It's this little groove that goes right around the edge here. And I just did that with with my palm router, little cove bit, and just a block as a straight edge. The reason why I have that block there is I put my big DeWalt router in that router table, and I'm just realizing that that was a huge mistake, because now I can't use any of the attachments without disconnecting the router from the table, which is a massive pain in the ass. So I think I'm gonna have to get another router to put in the table, just the power head, and then that way I can use my DeWalt router with all the attachments without an issue. Okay, with the juice groove routed and the finger holes routed, all that's left to do is do some finish sanding. So I'm going to kind of speed through this here, but basically I'm bringing everything down to 180 grit. Since it already had gone through the drum sander, and the drum sander, I believe I had 80 grit in it, I only did 120 and then 180. For the juice groove, I'm just hand sanding that. I have these little contour grips that you just wrap the sandpaper around, and they fit perfectly in there, which made that really easy and really nice. And now I'm just taking some tack cloth to get all the dust off of it before I go ahead and apply the finish. Now, for the finish, finish is important for cutting boards. It is really, really important for the finish that you're using a food-safe oil. So in this case, the product that I'm using is a blend of mineral oil and natural beeswax. So the mineral oil absorbs into the wood and helps condition the wood, and the beeswax adds a layer of both protection from the perspective it does harden, but it also adds a layer of protection for moisture, as the beeswax is to a degree water resistant and helps repel water. So you can see here when you put that finish on and it soaks in the oil, the wood really comes to life and it gets a really nice color. And I have to say, at this point, I think for my first cutting board, it might not have been the most complex or most difficult cutting board to make, but I think it came out really, really nice. And I'm gonna bring this upstairs, put this in my kitchen, and I'm really pleased with it, and I think my wife's really gonna be pleased with it too. As always, I appreciate your support, so go ahead and give this video a like, leave a comment, or better yet, watch some more videos. Thanks again.